In April this year, Jane's team released a birthday celebration video for her. In the video, Jane playfully imitated a fierce beast's roar, retire 90-year-old Jane. What a joke! She has always been racing against time, as well as the deterioration of the natural environment. In 1986, during a seminar, witnessing the rapid disappearance of forests and the sharp decline in chimpanzee populations, Jane realized she had to leave the jungle she loved to take action to protect these creatures. From then on, she chose a relentless lifestyle, researching and protecting chimpanzees in Africa while spreading environmental awareness worldwide. Jane Goodall was born on April 3, 1934, in London, England. From a young age, her parents fostered her love for nature and animals. At the age of 2, she received a plush chimpanzee named Jubilee as a gift. This toy accompanied her throughout her childhood and instilled in her a deep longing for Africa and chimpanzees. In 1957, this young woman, with no academic background or higher education, traveled alone to Kenya out of her love for animals. She found Louis Leakey, the director of the National Museum and a paleoanthropologist, simply to talk about animals. Moved by her passion, Leakey hired her as his secretary to assist with his research. In 1960, with Leakey's support, Jane went to the Gom Stream National Reserve by Lake Tanganyika to begin her chimpanzee research. The work was initially extremely challenging. The chimpanzees were very shy, and they would quickly dart away whenever they saw me. I often returned to camp disappointed, worried about running out of funds and even more afraid of letting Leakey down. But each time, I set out again with determination. To integrate into the chimpanzees' world, Jane imitated their lives as much as possible. She slept in the forest, ate the fruits they ate, and even climbed trees like them, mimicking their movements and calls. The first chimpanzee to accept her was an adult male named Graybird David. This icebreaker allowed Jane to enter the chimpanzees' world. After 15 months of persistence, the chimpanzees finally accepted her presence, leading to numerous groundbreaking discoveries in her research. She was the first to prove that chimpanzees not only hunt collectively but also make and use tools to catch ants. This study completely overturned the human understanding of animal behavior at the time, shattering the traditional notion that only humans make tools. She also discovered that chimpanzees could express emotions similar to humans, such as humor, anger, sadness, and fear. Based on these achievements, Jane earned her Ph.D. from Cambridge University in 1965. Jane established the Chimpanga Chimpanzee Rehabilitation Center on Chindabile Island in the Congo. One of the largest chimpanzee rehabilitation centers in Africa, it primarily shelters young chimpanzees who have lost their family protection due to illegal hunting. In a video publicly released on the Jane Goodall Institute's website, a female chimpanzee named Wunda gave Goodall an incredibly tender and long-lasting hug before being released into the wild, expressing her gratitude. "The warmth of that hug is something I will never forget," Goodall said. Jane Goodall dedicated most of her life to chimpanzees and also found love there. In 1964, after successfully approaching the chimpanzees, the National Geographic Society sent photographer Hugo van Lawick to document her work. The two soon married. In 1967, their son Hugo Eric Louis was born. In Gom, Goodall and her husband were seen by the chimpanzees as white-skinned apes, but their son Hugo was considered an outsider by them. For Hugo's safety, Jane added bars to her house. Whenever they went out for research, they would leave Hugo inside, and he grew up in such an environment. However, due to Hugo's frequent travels and Jane's inability to abandon her research in Gom, the marriage ended after 8 years. In 1975, Jane remarried Derek Bryson, the head of Tanzania's national parks. A former World War II fighter pilot, Derek had been injured in action, leaving him almost paralyzed from the waist down, but this did not diminish his vitality. He supported Jane in establishing a new research center in Gom. However, this marriage also did not last long, and Derek passed away from cancer in 1980, leaving behind brief yet profound memories. Jane Goodall wrote a book titled Africa in My Blood, in which she recounted that at the age of 10, after reading a book about Africa, she told her family that she would go there one day. While everyone laughed at her, her mother was the only one who fully supported her. To save money for the trip, Jane took on 2 jobs and hid her earnings under the carpet. During the first 4 months of her stay in GOM in 1960, Jane's mother accompanied her because the British government required that a young British girl not be left alone in the forest. She needed another European relative to accompany her. To this day, Jane Goodall remains proud and fortunate for her mother's extraordinary character. Her mother once told her, "As long as you work hard toward your goal and never give up, you will find a path to success." These words have always inspired Jane to pursue her dreams. What makes Jane Goodall admirable is not only her research achievements but also her relentless efforts in animal conservation and environmental protection. In 1986, while flying over GOM National Park, she was shocked by the sight. The park remained lush, but the surrounding forests had turned into barren wastelands due to deforestation. Goodall said, "In that moment, I realized that staying in GOM to study chimpanzees would not protect them. Instead, it might further reduce their numbers." From then on, Jane Goodall made environmental conservation her lifelong mission. In 1991, Goodall launched the Roots and Shoots Environmental Education Program, one of the most active global youth environmental initiatives, encouraging people to participate in environmental protection, animal care, and community service. Roots spread and extend underground, forming a solid foundation. Shoots may seem fragile, but to reach the sunlight, they can break through hard brick walls. If the various problems our planet faces are like those brick walls, then the young people worldwide are the roots and shoots that can break through them. You can change the world. Jane Goodall's interpretation of roots and shoots. In 2002, she was appointed a United Nations Messenger of Peace. In 2009, she received the French Legion of Honor and the UNESCO 60th Anniversary Medal for her outstanding contributions to protecting endangered chimpanzees. Jane Goodall is affectionately known as the Mother of the Earth. For the past 2 decades, she has devoted all her time to advocating for chimpanzee protection and the Roots and Shoots program, traveling worldwide to give speeches. "Do you truly believe there is hope for this world, for our future generations?" She says this is the question she is most often asked. Many have told her they no longer have hope for the future. Young people may feel angry, depressed, or indifferent, powerless to change the status quo. "What I can do is ensure that the next generation takes better care of this planet than we have," Jane says. "If we give up hope, that's when we've truly lost." When asked by young people how to protect animals and change the world, she answers, "Take action. Even small changes can make an impact. Change yourself, influence those around you, and spread the idea further. If everyone makes an effort, the world will become better. This is what keeps me going, even if the change is small. How can we stop?" Fortunately, more and more people are recognizing the importance of the environment and nature. Their efforts, like those of Dr. Goodall, inspire more people to join the mission of protecting the Earth.